Hey guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this Balenciaga City bag out of a thrifted leather jacket that I got for $12. Exactly. The sewing pattern is not my own, but it will be linked in the description below so that you guys can buy it and support this very beautiful and creative artist who made this pattern. I do recommend you guys go get it, so go do that. Alright, let's get right on into the video. This is the jacket that I ended up using. I got it for $12, and this is going to be our first little friend. This is the seam ripper. You want to use a seam ripper to get right in between the lining and the main fabric. What the seam ripper does is it cuts the string holding both of those layers together, and once you get a good grip, you can just pull it apart and rip it apart like this. Once you're finished with that, you should have all of your fabric laid out. I organize it by shapes and sizes so that I have a better representation of how much fabric I'm able to work with. Make sure you keep the zipper and all of the other accessories that your jacket comes with because we're going to use this later. I went ahead and printed the sewing pattern and put that all together off camera. What I'm going to do now is use the sleeves for the external body because these are the biggest pieces of leather that I have available to me. To cut leather, I use a rotary cutter. It is a super awesome tool that I do recommend you guys get. It's just super quick and easy to cut straight edges. I use a ruler just to really solidify that straight edge. And when you're cutting anything out, make sure that you have some weights on the pattern pieces to keep it flush onto the fabric so that nothing is moving around. When you're done cutting everything, it should look something like this. I did end up making a few modifications to these buckle pattern. I made it more triangular, like the larger piece it sits on, just to match the original city bag more. The sewing pattern doesn't come with the small little details, so to make it more authentic, I went ahead and made that pattern. Using the number 14 front piece, I went ahead and traced that as I'm doing so here. Just trace that onto a scrap piece of paper and then draw some guidelines. I drew them right where the zipper would go because I knew I had to make it smaller than that. I draw a straight edge, and then you want to find the center of that because it is symmetrical. We have the ability to cut it on a fold. We don't have to make both sides, we can just make one. Go ahead and fold your piece of paper in half. I went ahead and drew a line 1 centimeter lower than the original guideline, just so that I had some reference of how big I wanted the piece to be. Using a ruler and the original curve, I just made a slightly smaller curve and connected it to the guideline that's 1 centimeter lower. This is what it should look like when you're done, and just go ahead and cut that. I went ahead and tested it on the original pattern piece, and then once I was happy, I cut it out with leather. For the lining, I did end up making this strap as a keychain, and I added a bunch more pockets inside. This is what it looks like all fully sewn. As you can see, these are extra pockets that the original pattern doesn't come with. I do recommend adding more pockets because I love pockets. I like sewing specific little pockets for my lipstick and my lip liner, and just the small little details. I did include a little pocket right here for my keys as well, and they're just super cute. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Hardware is also super important for your project, so these are the rings that I used for my straps. It's also really important that you guys don't use pins for leather. Use clips. Pins are going to break and clips are not going to damage your leather. Once you punch a hole in leather, it is permanent, unlike other fabrics, so use clips. For the welted pocket, I end up using this piece right here because I didn't want the lining fabric to show through. This is what I mean by it showing through. If I was going to use the plaid, then you would be able to see that in between the zipper and the leather. If you're unfamiliar with welted pockets, it's really important for you to try to get as close to that corner as possible when you're cutting. The closer the better, but make sure not to snip through your thread. The closer you get, the crispier that edge will be, so try to get as close as you possibly can. For the customization of the bag, I use a leather punch. This is the one that I have. I also have ones that you hammer down, but I recommend buying this one. Along with that, I use screw back rivets. These are going to be the spike detailing, and the other one shown in frame is going to be purse feet. These go at the bottom of your purse so that they aren't sitting on the floor. These are going to be grommets along with rhinestone rivets. These are how I use them for the bag. For all of the rivet placement, I just punch a hole and then proceed to put in the rivet screw backing and screw on the top like I'm doing here. I put the spike rivets on the buckles as well as the bottom part underneath the zipper just for some cute detailing. For the sides of the bags, I did end up hand sewing the hardware onto the bag using these leather stitch punches. I just punch out the stitches so that my needle can easily go through. Whether you're hand sewing or using your machine, you do want to use a thicker thread for leather. I'm using an upholstery thread. I believe this one is nylon based, so it is significantly thicker and stronger than cotton. Generally, when hand sewing leather, you do want to use the saddle stitch. I opted out of that because my leather was not the thickest, and this is a stitch that is able to replicate the same effect of using a sewing machine, except you're doing it by hand. You want your needle to go through the hole from the bottom side and then meet up with the stitch on the top side. This is a technique called back stitching. It doesn't look the greatest from the back, but it looks fine from the front. Once I completed sewing, I just do a double knot and then use a little bit of glue and extra leather to really just hold the stitch down. Next up, we're attaching the purse feet to the bottom of the bag. In order to do so, I marked 1 inch from every side of the bag, and at that cross section, I went ahead and used the leather punch to punch it out. I wanted to give the bag more structure, but still allow it to be slouchy and flowy, so I used bra foam. Using the same pattern as the bottom of the bag, I went ahead and trimmed 3/8 of an inch off of all four corners so that the foam would be the size of the bottom after the seam allowance was taken. Once you do that, you can just line up the foam and the leather and punch the holes for the screws in the foam as well. For all of my rivets, I like to take scrap leather and then use that as the backing so that the only support isn't the one single piece of leather on the outside and the foam. Using the leather gives the rivet more stability and will have it last longer just because it's not applying that much pressure on the outside fabric. When you're done, this will be the front and this will be the back. Same rule apply for grommets. You do want to put a backing on all of the grommets you punch as well. This will just give it more stability and support long term. Once I was done with the grommets, I took a piece of leather with some glue on it and folded it in half to create these long strips, which I then used as these strings. I laced that through the grommets, creating this effect we see on screen, and used that as a tassel for the zipper. Diving into the handles, I did use the original pattern's handle pattern, but I did fold an edge of 1 centimeter on both sides and then 1 inch on both of the ends. Once I had that all situated, I used the leather stitch punch to punch out the entire way horizontally on the handles. This is 6 millimeter thick leather cord. What I use this for is as the grip for the handles. It provides support and something to hold onto and just makes it look a lot better, structured, and supported. What you're going to do next is take the 1 inch fold over that we had on the ends of the strap and pull that through the rings for the handles. Fold it in half and then clip it there. Once you're done with that, you take the leather cord and start clipping it, fold it in half with the cord in the middle. When you're done with both sides, it'll look something like this. Once you have everything clipped, you're going to go ahead and hand sew both handles. I used another variation of the back stitch, but for every one loop, you go ahead and do 2 loops so that the back doesn't look wonky. When it's completed, it'll look a little something like this. Alright, and that's going to be a wrap. I'm including a few more shots of the bag just so you guys can see some more of the fine detailing. If you have any questions of things I didn't go over, make sure to DM me or comment and I'll get back to you. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys want to see and like and subscribe. Bye guys.